things that keep them from getting paid.
Right. It makes me I don't know really. I mean, there's a bunch of different theories, right? Like we can make of this. Um, when we're talking about human activity data, with a task provided, it's like, what if well, it's got to be connected to government, right? It's got to be connected to something like that. Some
Not
sort of
necessarily.
no, right?
So, well, I feel like Facebook already does something similar, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Facebook, if you have the app on your phone or whenever you log in and stuff, it's collecting data on
Mm-hmm.
you. If you're using Facebook with certain browsers, like those browsers share information. So even if you don't have Facebook
Yeah.
open, as soon as you open Facebook, it's talking to the browser and all the places you've been,
Yeah.
it lines up with Facebook, right? That's why you're always getting the ads all the time.
Right. What I
Your
what
phone's your phone and stuff is listening to you. Like all these,
Oh,
what I'm saying
absolutely.
is, so that kind of human activity
Yeah.
data
It's
is
already
already,
happening right now. It's already
but
it kind
I
of
feel like
like
this is Microsoft's way of collecting very similar
right.
information without necessarily even having to use your phone.
What I found interesting with this is that when I started digging a little bit more and everything, and I started finding, it's because when you're doing conspiracies and stuff, you're kind of just trailing, you know, you're trailing a trail where you're starting to connect different groups, different people, and then you kind of line them up, and they all stand in front of you, and it's like logically makes sense. Like, okay, these people are all in on it. And one thing that I found interesting is Bill Gates funded a company in Denmark, and they're called BEZH International, and they're a biometrics company that develops sensor systems. They're the ones actually that are because well, if you don't know, listeners, Switzerland is the first country to actually have a system for microchipping people. Like there's even certain jobs that require it for their corporations or businesses that's how they get in. That's how they scan to actually get food. It was actually on the news, bro. It was on the news. And it was insane. It
Yeah.
wasn't on our news, obviously.
No. Well,
It
not
was on
yet,
it was
but
on their news.
the moment they want to try and do it to us, they'll be like,
Right.
"Ah, Switzerland's been doing it for
Yeah.
years.
Right.
It's totally okay. The Swiss are, yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
great.
And
Nothing to worry about."
and I was just like, what the fuck? And what's a big thing over there is XRP and Ripple and everything. And there's a company that was made through BEZH, which is called BuyChip. You can go on Facebook right now, type in BuyChip, and look at their, what they're hoping to come to the future for BuyChip. And it's BuyChip is basically its own cryptocurrency. Ripple is its own cryptocurrency. XRP, we see that they're in a huge conflict with the SEC, and they're kind of like going through, lawsuits and everything like that. Now, I watch guys, on TikTok, that they're cryptocurrency guys, they're influencers in that area, and they talk big about XRP. They talk about XRP one day taking the top of the cryptocurrency market. And we all know, like, whatever is on top of the cryptocurrency market is what runs basically the market. The other coins are pretty much just altcoins, and they kind of, they're more of a risk than like the stronger coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum and certain projects like that. But if I if it's possible that XRP can be the number one day, all of this makes sense because it's all connected
Yeah,
together.
yeah,
So it's patented. So it's not fundamentally like here. Well, it's fundamentally existing, but it's not.
It hasn't
The
been
tools
implemented.
haven't been aren't introduced to the public. Like this is a sensitive thing too. Like a lot of people, they don't like that their Apple Watch, has their location, or whatever. This kind of shit. It's gonna be a different.
It's still being normalized. Like
Yeah,
cell phones are normalized. Like
they are.
everyone
Yes.
has their cell phone on them at
Right.
all times, right? Because we've even got rid of landlines. Uh, like wearable devices are, I think, still they're becoming more normalized, but they're not there yet for a lot of people.
Right. Right.
You know, a lot of people it still makes them uncomfortable. There's a lot like I've got like four Alexas in my house. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my house is automated. I tell her to do all sorts of shit. Um, and like she's listening to me constantly. You know
All
what I mean?
right. Yeah.
And the only reason I'm comfortable with that is because I already know that my watch is listening to me, my Mac computer is listening to me, like my phone is constantly listening to me. Like I know I'm being listened to already. Otherwise, I wouldn't have an Alexa in my house.
Yeah, yeah.
You
It's
know what
some.
I
I
mean? That's
mean, it's some, and that's how something gets easily. That's just how something naturally gets normalized to where you're like,
yeah,
fuck it. It's a daily thing, and it's what can I do? Like it's part of life. That
yeah. It's
that's
like if
growing
you want,
around us.
and that's what they're making it so if you want to function in this world,
Hmm.
you have to play ball. If you want to use the phone, you have to do their service agreement or whatever. You know what I mean? If you want to use an app on the phone,
Yeah.
you have to agree to 17 pages of bullshit that no one ever reads, right?
Right.
So you're just giving them access to everything on your phone,
It's
you know?
yeah, yeah, man. I think we're gonna just as we keep moving forward. As I don't think the government